Hello YouTube, it's Jason again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at. Today I'm going to bring you a macro lens comparison. And with me I've got three macro lenses. First up, we have the Canon 100mm f2.8 L lens IS USM. This is a beautiful macro lens. It comes with a lens hood right on top of this lens, screws on, and you can take wonderful macro shots. This is an EF mount, and the second lens that I'll be reviewing is the 50mm lens. Now this is not the standard 50mm, the Nifty 50 1.8, but actually this is the 50mm 2.5 macro lens. Right, this is a very old lens. It is very noisy, a little bit plasticky, but let's see how it works. Now these are two EF lenses, and they are adapted on the M50 via a Viltrox Speedbooster. As you can see, there's a glass inside, and this is the Viltrox Speedbooster. Right, this is the Viltrox Speedbooster, and this helps to adapt the two EF lenses onto the M50. Well, I'm recording this using the M50 and the Sigma 16. And lastly, this is the Canon EF-M 22mm lens, the lovely pancake lens that everybody loves to get. At f2, this 22mm is really bright and fast. You can't really see the aperture because it's closed right now. There's a tiny little pinhole right in the middle. But this is a lovely and perfect form factor size for traveling and complements the Canon EF-M really well. It's also a macro lens, so let's see how these macro lenses perform when comparing side by side. Right. So I'm going to take a picture of a silver key, and let's see how these macro lenses perform. So the first picture is an overall picture. I'm looking at the key handle, and on the far left is the EF 100mm lens. Right smack in the middle is the EF 50mm lens at f1.8, and on the right is the EF-M 22mm f1.8. The information and the settings are situated below on the bottom left of each picture, and let's take a closer look. Ooh. Now, first thing that we look at is the depth of field. Now, it is no surprise that the 100mm has the most shallow depth of field, as you can see on the first image on the left. Most narrow depth of field, and also it has got the sharpest image. Now, why this could be so is because the other images have been cropped in, right? At 100mm, I do not have to crop much, but for the 50mm in the middle, there is a slight increase. Now, in terms of sharpness, the 100mm maintains the sharpest image. This could be possible because of the amount of crop that I had to manually do on the 50mm as well as the 22mm. Whereas on the 100mm EF lens, I didn't crop the image that much. Another thing I noted is the chromatic aberration on the 50mm was quite bad compared to the 22 and compared to the 100mm lens. There is a hint of purple, especially in the edges. Chromatic aberration occurs when the lens is unable to focus, when there is light bouncing off an edge or surfaces that are sharp. So, which picture looks the best in your opinion? Which macro lens would you use? The price difference for these three lenses are tremendous. The 100mm L lens retails over 5,000 ringgit compared to the 50mm, it's about maybe 1,000 plus ringgit. And the cheapest would be, I believe, the EF-M 22mm lens, which you can get about 1,000 ringgit. Yeah. So of course, we are not comparing apple to apple, but I just would like to highlight to you the difference of the images that you can take from a 22, a 50mm and a 100mm Canon L lens. So thank you for watching this short review. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider to do so. Drop me a like, drop me a comment, and let's catch up over YouTube. Thank you and bye-bye!